Hey everybody, Mr. Murphy here from Good Evening Eorzea. I wanted to make a super simple tank guide to try and get more people interested in playing this role. I can appreciate that a lot of people just don't want to, however I see a hell of a lot of people wanting to try it but being intimidated. Hopefully this video will help some people jump into at least giving it a go, because it is a really fun role to play, and not to mention the bonuses you get from, like, say, insta-queues. I think people get worried by tank role for many reasons, but there is one that seems to stick out the most, like a Kojin at a Moogle convention, is the responsibilities you have as tank. I won't lie here, yes, you do have responsibilities that a healer and DPS won't, however the tools your job role has make this so easy to accomplish. Still don't think so? Well, let me know if you feel the same at the end of the video. So what is your main aim as a tank? Imagine you're waiting in line and some idiot cuts in and everybody gets super angry. Yeah, as tank, you want to be the guy that cut in. You want to be the only thing that enemy cares about, so that the other party members can do their job. As tank, you have abilities that generate enmity, more commonly called aggro or hate. However, for the sake of this video and the fact that I struggle to do the wordage, we will stick with aggro. To make things as easy as possible, this guide will focus on lower level dungeons, as this is the best place to start learning the tank role. If this video is well received, then I can expand to do harder content in another video. A great tip before you jump into your first dungeon is to adjust your HUD so you can easily see the enemy list UI. Not only is this a great way to see how many baddies you have on a go at one time, it also displays what level of aggro you have on each of the said baddies. It's all about what coloured shape you have on the left of each enemy on the list. A green circle means the enemy has no idea you're there. A yellow north-facing triangle means it knows you're there but couldn't care less. An orange south-facing triangle means you're becoming a pain in the backside, and a red square means they want to devour your very soul. As tank, you want a straight flush of red soul-munching squares. This list also shows you what enemy you are currently targeting with a slight glow around the box, which makes swapping to a specific target easy in bigger groups. So, how do I tank a dungeon? First, remember to wait for your protect from the healer, and don't be afraid to say you're new to tanking. This will usually make your party more forgiving should anything go wrong. You can break each encounter in a dungeon into 3 main sections, or what I call the 3 Ps: pull, position, kill. My kill has a silent P. The pull. So the best method of this, target the closest enemy, use your job's ranged attack, either unmend, tomahawk or shield lob, run towards the mob and hit your AoE aggro ability. So unleash for Dark Knight, flash for Gladiator and Paladin, and overpower for Marauder or Warrior. Be aware that overpower is a cone AoE, not a 360, so positioning can be a little tougher. Nothing a little bit of practice won't fix. Before you move to the next P, make sure you have your red soul-eating squares on the enemy list. Position. When you have the enemy's attention, turn them away from your party. You do this so enemy attacks won't hit the others, plus it can help with DPS positional should they have any. It is a good idea to pop another AoE here to keep hold of them pesky baddies. If you are dealing with a large group or just some strong enemies, use a shield like Rampart to mitigate some of the damage. Be careful though, your healer may fall in love with you. So the last P, or K, kill. Now that enemies are facing away from the party, it's time to murder the mobs to death. Just keep an eye on your aggro. If you do lose aggro, which will happen from time to time, don't panic and run around like a nutcase. Calmly select the lost enemy and remember the enemy list will help you with this, and hit another ranged attack. This should be enough to drag it back to you, where you can just hit another AoE to make sure it never runs away from home again. After the murdering is done, move to the next group and repeat. Something to keep in mind is although you are a tank, you still want to avoid any avoidable damage, like you should still move away from an AoE attack. Just make sure to readjust after so you keep your enemies facing away. If you feel confident enough, you could try to pull more than one group of ads. You just use the same method as before, just the shield is more important this time as you will be taking a lot more damage. Honestly, big pulls can be the most dangerous part of a dungeon. Just keep in mind that you don't have to do this if you don't want to. As tank, you are the person that sets the pace. Another note on this is that you may not be able to make all enemies face away from the party, so don't panic if you can't. They have legs, they can move, although don't expect the black mage to. Boss time. Look, to be honest, bosses are no much more than glorified mobs in most cases. Use the 3 Ps, with them too. I can't go over all the different mechanics here, as that is far beyond the scope of this video. However, there are a few things that will help. So, number 1. Focus target the main boss so you can always see if it's casting something. 2. If the boss is casting something you don't like the sound of, pop a shield, until you learn the fight anyway. And 3. Move away from AoEs. 4. Sometimes a boss will run after another player or focus on them even if you have the red death square aggro. This is scripted, you ain't done nought wrong. And number 5, sometimes boss encounters have ad phases where extra enemies decide they want to play. Simply try and pick them up, just don't panic. If you follow these basics you should have your first clear as tank in no time. Just take your time to start with and you will notice the more you do the easier things will become. Before I sign off, here are a few extra tips. Mark enemies that you want attacked in order. This makes it less likely for you to lose aggro because all other party members should be hitting the same target. Now you can do this manually or with a macro. I'll leave the link in the description to a pretty decent one. If you feel anxious about a specific dungeon, look for a video guide, specifically a tanking one. Now I do think you should always try a dungeon blind as it helps you learn for yourself, but if it means that you're not going to run it, then just go and watch it anyway. Well guys, the end of the video is upon us and I should be taking my leave. Thanks for watching and I really hope this helps some people give tanking a go. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and to see more from myself or Oisty, consider subscribing and ringing the bell icon. Ringing the bell icon. Thanks again guys, and happy gaming!